David Koch, formidable opponent, the infamous David Koch of the Koch brothers, has passed away at the age of 79. Was not a surprise, was not sudden. He had been battling illness. Considering the fact that, David Koch was a very polarizing person. That's what they call you when you're complete like asshole. Right? When you're the type of person that makes other people really ticked off, when people gotta either love you or hate you, when you're one of those type of people that people just go, I really hate that guy, or some people go, I love that guy, he's the best guy in the world. Well, that means you're totally polarizing. That means just something that you are doing that has a whole group of people wanting to come after you, and then another group of people that want to help throw you on their shoulders, and buy you drinks. So I don't know what it is with that, but that's what he was and that's what he is. And in his death, there have been a lot of people saying a lot of crass things, a lot of horrible things. Some people have even formed parties. Some people have been dancing and I saw a man doing a moonwalk. I saw a squirrel doing a head spin. I saw a cat. I'm not playing. I saw a cat line dancing. Down. He was doing that line dance, that Lil Nas thing. He was so happy. I didn't see cat that happy. Down. And look, man, it's been a lot of crassness, man. A lot of people have been really, saying many horrible things about David Koch. And I just want to go on the record and say that all of that displays the vitriol, the anger, the just totally harsh criticism in post-mortem, like the man just died, the body's not even cold, and just this relentless onslaught of verbose disrespect. I just want to say, I respect the hell out of it. Yeah, keep it coming. Look, if you don't want people to talk badly about you at your death, maybe you shouldn't be such a jackass. I question if he cares. Man, like to those people who are soft and going, Tim, that's not right. What about you when you die? Well, I don't intend to try to ruin our elections or succeed in ruining our elections by funneling money to candidates to get them to do my bidding in order to prop up corporations. See, I don't plan to do that, so I don't expect people to form line dances in celebration to my demise. You get what you give. Stop being so soft. People die every day. Not every day does a man single-handedly, a billionaire, fund the destruction of our democracy almost totally on his own, with the help of his other brother, his cyborg brother. So I'm not shedding no tears for no Koch brothers. I didn't kill him. He gone. Good. Now, if they say, Tim, why are you so pissed off, Tim? I get what you're saying, Tim. It makes sense. He's a horrible individual. You're not for the death penalty, but you're not against killers dying. No, I'm not. So why you feel that way? Well, this guy, this is someone who totally manipulated the whole idea of Citizens United. In fact, I believe without bastards like David and his brother, there would have been no Citizens United. They're part of the reason why they had pushed this country to the right almost unanimously by themselves, almost autonomously. Horrible policies that benefit corporations, not people. And we have people who are dumb enough to think it's cool, such as Ben Shapiro. And this is when somebody's brought off, guys. When you have somebody like Ben Shapiro, how old is this guy, like 30? And he's up here crying because the Koch brother died. Ooh, him and Steven Crowder. Don't tell me these guys don't get money from somebody on the right who's got deep pockets that wants them to spew this crap about this old guy who had all this money, who did whatever he wanted. And what he wanted to do was control our politics, to take my vote away, to take your vote away and give it to corporations because we too stupid to know what to do with our vote. They know better than we do. But see, the game that they play is they keep all the chips. And we have none of them. And we have Steven Crowder, and we got Ben Sep Zero, Shap Zero, and Stephen Bloater, or Bladder, or whatever his name is, or whoever he is. Hack, Shield. These guys up here crying, actually crying because people are making fun or joking or whatever they're doing about the death of David Koch. And, yeah. And these are the same people that love to say that the Democrats are snowflakes and all this stuff. These guys really have no problem being snowflakes. Sounds like you're a little snowflakey about a guy you don't even know who was a horrible individual. You don't even think he's cool because he was a libertarian and his politics matches yours. I really don't think a billionaire ever cared about you or I. Which leads me to Sean Carter, Jay-Z. I don't know why. I really need to have a conversation with my black brothers and sisters who believe just because a billionaire is black that he's any less of an asshole than David Koch. We really need to get past this, man. We're going to really have to start looking at people at the fruits of their labor and look at what they're really about. Stop making excuses for people when they do the wrong thing. So anyway, the Koch brothers almost, they're the Tea Party. They're the architects of the Tea Party. Which means they were highly successful in altering politics. Highly successful. See, we can't have a Tea Party on the left, which is an insurgency of, at least it originated with grassroots and was brought out by the Koch brothers. They brought it out. But the DNC will never allow such to happen, where something could take hold at a grassroots level and move policy and have politicians bend into their whim. Whenever the DNC sees that happen, they shut it down quickly. They will burn their own. They will execute their own. They will destroy their own with any signs of, the people. How big was the crowd you had out there? That many, huh? Okay. I'll get with you soon. I got to make a phone call. I'll be right there. Yeah, we need to go ahead and plant that story, that smear story on him. Yeah, he had about 150 people out there. Doesn't sound like a lot of people, but it could grow. It could turn into 175 if we don't do something about it. Yeah, let's get that smear article. Call up the usual suspects in New York Times and Politico and Daily Beast. Salon. Yeah, Salon. Dude, go with them. We've always got hitters on deck to write smear articles for us. Shut it down like Chuck D would say. Oh, hey, yeah, I'm right there. I'm coming right there. I keep hearing them talk about, this prison justice reform. The Koch brothers, they're the reason why we got the Cut 50 bill, the First Step Act. I support the First Step Act. But believe me, it was a first step. A very, very tiny step. Almost like a consolation step. Like if you could take if the step was any shorter, it'd have been a step backwards type of step. It was a puny step. You know what a real criminal justice reform step forward looks like? The Bernie Sanders Life Safety Act, the one I spent over an hour and 20 minutes talking about, that YouTube says is user-friendly, demonetized it because, it's talking about, government policy. That's all. It's just government policy. But, they won't share it, and they've limited its reach because it's not advertiser-friendly is what they call it. Yeah, that one. The one, I spent a large amount of time. Yeah, it really pissed me off. But if you want to talk about fundamental, real criminal justice reform, don't talk to me about no damn Koch brothers inspired legislation. And once again, like I said, that was cool, good. Something got done, great. But let's not act like it's the end all to be all. It does not handle the wraparound institutional cleaning, the decimation of our criminal justice system, the actual breakdown of systemic racism, the actual the hindrances in the communities and the things in the young people's lives that really lead them down that path, and then also take care of them once they get out, and how we can reacclimate them and make them better and new and get them reintroduced in society in a way that's fundamental so they can be fruitful and go out and not repeat any type of activity but put them back in that same situation, but so they can have productive lives and contribute to society as was intended. First Step Back doesn't do all that, but the Bernie Sanders bill does. So anyway, don't, go cry about Coke somewhere else. I don't do Coke. And I told you about the DNC, and I told you how the Democratic Party has a way of destroying movements. That's their job. That's what they're good at. They love to destroy movements. They got this criteria to be in the Democratic debates. You have to have you have to be polling at a certain level in order to participate. So we all know that, right? They had these rules. Well, Tulsi Gabbard and her campaign are hitting back because they say that those rules are not being fairly applied. Case in point. She says, Tulsi Gabbard of Hawaii says the Democratic National Committee said that their polling criteria for upcoming primary debates, they need to ensure transparency and fairness in selecting the qualifying surveys in order to attend those debates. They noted that Tulsi was has exceeded the 2%. She has exceeded the 2% margin, which is necessary, which was required in 26 polls. But for some strange reason, only 2 of those are on DNC's certified list. Yeah. Hey, you're doing a good job, but not on the scales of not where we're looking. But it's a poll. But yeah, but we only use this poll over here. But you didn't look at me. Or why are my numbers there so low when they're high over here? Well, we don't know, but we're not going to use those polls because those polls are not the polls we want to use. We want to use different ones because in the different ones you're not doing so good. Because we decided everything's fair and square, Mrs. Gabbard. There you go, being paranoid again. There you go with your conspiracy theories. Conspiratorial left, the fringe left, the nutty left, the dumb left. There you go again. You guys watch guys who say stuff like that about people who have who are more left-leaning than they are. There are people here who watch this show right now who watch that shit and go, yeah, he's good. I'm like, really? Anyway, the Gabbard campaign is calling on the DNC to hold true to their promise and make adjustments to the process to ensure that transparency and fairness. The campaign said in the Friday release that crucial decisions on debate qualifications that impact the right of American people to have the opportunity to participate fully in the democratic process should not be made in secret or by party bosses. When I say party bosses, you know I'm talking about Tom Perez. Oh, Tom Perez sounds like a cocaine addict. Isn't everybody? We're going to get out there. We're going to get the vote. Hey, we're going to get the powder. We're going to tap dance in the rain, jump down in the romance of stone like Sylvester Stallone. And we're going to pow. And the powder. Are you feeling pumped up? I'm feeling pumped up for democracy. Like, dude. You got any downers? We ain't even start the program yet. He in the car, that's on the cab ride, the Uber over. Uber driver's like, excuse me, sir. Would you please, sir? I'm going to have to put you out my car. This is my personal automobile. You are spitting all over my back of my neck and all over my seats. This camera is running, sir. Tulsi Gabbard, she did raise the money requirements. It's just and she's polling well enough. It's just not in the particular polls that that the DNC is using. Now, I'm not saying that the DNC is cooking the books on those polls, but I'm saying it's possible the DNC is cooking the books on the polls. I would say it if I had evidence. But since I don't have evidence to say it, what I will say is that I don't doubt that they will cook the books on the polls to keep out who they don't want. 10 candidates qualified so far: Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Mayor Pete, Kamala, Klobuchar, O'Rourke, Sanders, Warren, Castro, and Yang. Why do I keep hearing about this billionaire dude or whatever? How does a billionaire become a grassroots candidate? There's no grassroots in that. That's artificial turf. That's astroturf. Who are these people? How is this guy closer to qualifying than Tulsi Gabbard. I don't make any sense to me. All right, so we all know we support that. But you know what I don't support? I don't support people being so bitter. Like, she could still make the debates, dude. Stop throwing Bernie supporters under the bus because she's not making the debates right now. It's not our fault. We didn't rig the system. Bernie supporters have no power over the system. We're the outside, bro. So stop. Look, do me a favor, guys. Spread the word. There are certain Tulsi people who are very upset, and I understand you're upset. I'm upset too. But what I won't do is let my frustration cause me to go after my allies. Okay? Don't do it. Let's grow up. Let's put on our big boy, whatever you wear, or big girl, whatever you got on, whatever you wear down there. Some people go commando. I get that too. Maybe you do. I don't. Never have. Not my style. But you go ahead and do that. But do that. Put on whatever you want to put on. But just put on the big people kind. And just proceed to deal with this, and we fight the good fight. But what we do not need to do is keep sowing division. It's unnecessary. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard would appreciate it either, because she's a supporter of Bernie. She's not a hater. So, Bernie Sanders introduced the most comprehensive criminal justice reform platform that I've seen anywhere. I painstakingly went over it. We enjoyed it here. It was fantastic. Only one imbecile say, you should have reduced that down to 15 minutes. You should kiss my white behind. Challenge yourself to really know something, to be thorough sometime, to really get the nooks and the crannies and the details and to get down in there and G Willikers and golly G Willikers, to really get down in there and build a movement. Because you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking that snickerdoodles and marshmallows are just the greatest little thing. And I've got a plan for that. We're going to take a stick and we're going to go out in the woods. And by golly, we're going to start ourselves a campfire. And we're going to roast those marshmallows. And we're going to pretend that those marshmallows are the American people fighting back against the greedy industries. And then we're going to taste them. We're going to have some milk and some cookies. And by golly, we're going to have ourselves a swell time. So anyway, Bernie Sanders' criminal justice reform package that Senator Elizabeth Warren tried to steal the thunder of. Some people say Tim Black, Senator Warren, she's only in this for one reason and one reason only, and that's to stop Bernie Sanders from getting the 50%. And I say, hey, I have no way of knowing that's true or not, but it does sound like something they do. Does sound like something they do. Gee Willikers, Tim Black. Fruit roll-ups and Fig Newton bars, Tim Black. Why do you think so lowly of me? Well, I've got a plan for that. I've been wondering all this time, what would make you think that I would do such a thing? So what, I didn't go to Standing Rock? So, gee Willikers, I was busy. I had to pull the weeds out of the garden. Those weeds, they stack up and they get really tall and they're really hard to get. You got to get in there. Got to get them early. You don't get them early, you won't be getting them. I didn't have time to go to Standing Rock. I really cared about the Native Americans, but I was talking to my mama, I was talking to my grandpa, I was talking to my cousin, I'm talking to my uncles. And I was just busy, Tim Black. You are black and scary, and I don't know why you pick on me. But I've got a plan for that. My criminal justice package will come get you. And stop talking about the fact I used to be a Republican. Oh, Tim Black, I've got a plan for you. Talking about when I was a Republican. So what, I was 50 before I realized that progressive was a good thing. Anybody can change. All right, so Bernie Sanders, he's introduced, he's got a climate plan. And just like his criminal justice plan is very aggressive. In fact, it's the most aggressive climate plan, bar none. If you had to design a program with the aim of offending the top brass of the world's most powerful corporations and the politicians whose careers they bankroll, must be an Intercept article when it starts off like that. Sounds like somebody who doesn't care about pissing off the establishment. This is not an article you would ever read at, say, like MSNBC or CNN or New York Times or something. Bernie Sanders unveiled today in his $16.3 trillion Green New Deal platform. We need a president who has the courage, the vision, and the record to face down the greed of fossil fuel executives and billionaire class who stand in the way of climate action. The plan's opening salvo states, going on to echo a famous line from Franklin Delano Roosevelt, which is Cardi B's favorite president, by the way. We need a president who welcomes their hatred. Take that, take that, take that. Take that, take that, take that. You can hate me now. You can hate me now. That was Nas, man. Sanders outlines an expansive system, building on a resolution introduced by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ed Markey in April that will generate publicly owned clean energy and 20 million new jobs. How are you going to pay for it? Well, I just said it's going to create 20 million new jobs. Yeah, it's going to create 20 million new jobs, so it's going to pay for itself, homeboy. Because if you got 20 million new jobs, you know how many new jobs? That's tax revenue right there. Plus, we put a little carbon tax on these busters. It's polluting the country, polluting the world, crushing the environment. There's all these ways to mitigate costs. You know, sort of like, say, when you add to people's pockets, you increase the circulation of money within the country, which increases our GDP. You know, sort of like if you really cared about black people being on the bottom, owning less than 10% of white people's wealth. The average black family has 10% of the, for every dollar white people have, we have 10 cents. So if you really cared about fixing it, if you did fix that, that would greatly improve our economy because black people wouldn't be so poor and they would buy more stuff, which would help everybody. But see, you'd have to give a damn about that for that to happen. So anyway, come on, Johnson, let's keep it moving here. We're talking about climate. You're talking about black people. Don't do that. It's definitely the biggest and boldest plan and vision out there, Evan Weber, political director for the Sunrise Movement, told The Intercept. And did you not know that there is a presidential candidate who people are saying is very electable who does not support this? Doesn't even want us to hold a climate debate panel? Do you know that he has a surrogate as well who has just a little bit more hair than me, but is a traitor? And some say was a mole for the DNC the whole time she was working for Bernie Sanders. Who do you think I'm talking about? Oh, I shudder to think. Go ahead, guess it. Go ahead and guess it. Put two and two together. I'm talking about Simone Sanders. I'm talking about Joe Biden. These are corporate sellouts. These are sellout-toots. These are prostitute sellouts. She actually made an argument of why we shouldn't have climate. Well, let's talk about, everything else. If we don't talk about climate, people won't be here. Simone, you do realize if there's no climate, we don't address the climate situation, everybody can't come live at your mama house. And then your mama house going to be gone too. Like if we don't address this, there won't be an earth. Do you understand that kids going to have to wear masks to go to school? Do you get it? Are you getting this? Are they paying you enough money to kill all the babies? Just how much money is that? I'd like to know. What's your number for kill everybody? For you to just be like, fuck everybody. How much are they paying you to say that? To have that stance like, so what? Just babies. Tell me the number. I'd like to know for future reference. I got a feeling it's really not that much. Just so you could wear red bottoms. That's all. Just for you to wear red bottoms. Man, you could go get yourself a pair of shoes and pay less and paint them red and have your integrity, horse mouth. Why not do that? Why be a sellout all your life? People are afraid to call you what you are. You are a canker sore. and a scumbag and a liar and a thief. You're a liar because you said you were progressive when you weren't. You never were. You just said shit on TV to be on TV. And you are a thief because you stole our trust. I don't know if you stole money. But you stole trust. And the scumbag part, well, that's obvious. You work for Joe Biden. Only a person who would work for Bernie then work for Joe Biden, the only way you can characterize that person appropriately would be to call him a scumbag. I mean, there's other words you could use, but this is a PG-13 show. So, back to this climate change. This legislation, this Green New Deal that Bernie Sanders is very aggressive. It doesn't mess around at the edges. Oh, we're just going to trim around the edges a little bit, just get the edges a little bit, make everybody happy. We don't want to fundamentally have to change nothing, really. We don't really want to have to ruffle feathers. We could just all just get along and just focus on the soul of America, the soul of America, the soul. We're on the fight for our very soul and lives. When I saw those kids out there in Charlottesville, it was really bothering me. And I said, I told Barack, I said, buddy Barack, we really got to do something about these kids. And he's a racist. And I've never seen it before where in all this time, it's the soul of America. And we just have to really come together and hit the grips. And I'm sorry, I'm done. Is it done? My time up? Yeah, Joe. Your time's up. It's up. Man, I'll tell you, Dave, most people see through Kamala Harris, but every once in a while. And look, I don't even know if these people are real. Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't know if these people are. I don't think they're very political. I think they're just people who just want a black woman to be president. All they see is that she's a black woman. They don't even look at the fact that she was an attorney general. They don't even look at the fact she was a prosecutor. They don't look at any of that. They don't look at what. Like, they would say, yeah, our criminal justice system is racist. They'll say that because these are typically black people. They're pissed off at our system and say that our system is racist and it disproportionately locks up black people, particularly, black people, poor people, black people predominantly. And you would think that would be a big deal to them, but since it's a black woman, they're mad at me and they say I'm trolling her. I'm too hard on her. And they think I'm being hard on her because she's a black woman. Football is debatable. We can have that conversation at some other point, I guess, maybe, about her blackness. Fine, cool. But you totally leave out the fact what she does for her occupation. And her occupation was being on the side of law enforcement that locks people up. There are all types of people that are involved in our criminal justice system that do nothing, that had nothing to do with jailing people. I mean, there are people who are public defenders. There are people who counsel. There are people who do parole officers that help people. Like, there's all types of people that work with juveniles. There's all types of people and all types of positions that you could work for if you are a person with a jurisprudence degree or some type of legal acumen, or you're going in that direction. You don't have to become a prosecutor and then an attorney general when that focus is going to be incarceration. But those people can't see that she's that first. No one chooses their color or their sex, but you choose your job, yo. You choose your job. So to that it's a very small amount of people, man. It's a very small amount of people who that's all they see. They go kill. A black person could just go out in the street, just shoot black people, just shoot them willy-nilly. And they would defend them somehow because they black. No, see, I don't do that. I call out black people, I call out white people, I call out Asian people, I call out Native American people, I call out gay people, I call out straight people, I call out Jewish people, I call out all people. Okay? One of the reasons why Kamala Harris is called out so much because she's so horrible. Now, Amy Klobuchar was also a prosecutor, but Amy Klobuchar is not in the news hardly at all. But if she was in the news more, I would be going after Amy Klobuchar. She never talks about her background as a prosecutor. She don't brag about it. A lot of people watch it don't even know that she had a career in that. Because she keeps it quiet. Because it's a negative in the Democratic Party. It's a negative. to be pro. It used to be negative before the Clintons came up. It used to be negative for the left to lock people up, to be pro law enforcement, lock people up, throw away the key, lock up as many people as you can in these private prisons. They used to not be a left thing. It is a left thing. If you are looking at Kamala Harris as anything other than a cop, an attorney general with a horrible record that you could go look up, you could Google it at any time and be like, okay, well, that's a good reason for them to be that way. I do not agree with it, but it's not just because she's a woman, and it's not just because she's black. You could see that if you would just look it up. And if she was a white guy who did that, you would have no problems with me calling him out. You would be, that's why I love that boy. I love Tim Black, man. He be going after that Jeff Sessions, man. Look at him go. I love that. But since this is Kamala Harris, you're like, oh, why you have to do her like that, man? Man, this is wrong. I'm not going to stop watching them. I'm just going to say annoying shit in the comment section. Because I want to keep my eye on him, I like when he calls out, Elizabeth Warren and Mayor Pete, when he calls out, everybody else. But only when he calls out Kamala, I hate it, man. I hate it because she a sister, man. She a sister. Just keep calling out the white folks. Don't call out, well, if I call out Cory Booker, yeah, you can call him out. I don't care about him. He's bald-headed. I don't like, somebody's eyes, funny eyes. Somebody's eyes, I don't trust him. He did make one comment I wanted to highlight. He said that, that Trump, that Trump is, basically Trump is horrible, and Obama wasn't good, but he wasn't as bad. And I'll tell you, man, they were both killing us. Trump is killing us. And Trump's killing our EPA. He's gutted the EPA. He's gutted regulations. They keep us safe. They keep us alive. He's gutted safety net programs that help people make it day to day. Totally just took a knife to it and ran through it. But the difference between Trump and Obama is Obama was like a silent killer. They say heart disease is a silent killer. You might not even know you have it. And he just died one day. That's Obama. It was silent. You would be happy and just going about life and just partying, you know what I mean? And just doing whatever you're doing, eating pizza and fried chicken and, drinking beers and chilling out or whatever you do, right? Going to a fish fry and just fall out. No one would know. Like, oh, man, he was just here and he was gone. Well, that was Obama. But Trump is more like gangrene. He's like, what is that on your arm, brother? What the hell is that? Man, you need to get to the doctor. That's you're going to die. You're going to die. you need to get there. Cut your arm off. And that's what Susan Sarandon meant when she said that, and for some reason these sellout corporate bastards, they act like they don't understand it, right? I mean, if I can get it, I know they can get it. Susan Sarandon was saying that, you're going to see that gangrene. You're not going to be able to explain that away. You're not going to be able to ignore it. That's where the revolution part comes in. Because if you can look down and see that your arm is falling off and it's blood dripping off of it and flesh is hanging off of it, flapping in the wind, well, you're going to have to do something about that because people see it, everybody see it, you can't ignore it. That's Trump. But whether it is going to be gangrene or the flapping of the skin, a flesh-eating disease, or it's diabetes, we still are dying. And that's the difference.